Hello, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be reviewing this HOUSNAT cold press juicer. So I recently got this juicer and I wanted to try it out for you guys and show you guys how it worked. Something that I really like about this is it actually comes with 2 filters, which is really nice. Number one, if you are using one and you are in the process of washing it or letting it soak, if it gets really filled up with some debris and you are washing it, but you want to use your juicer for the second time of the day, you can use your second filter. But also, if one goes bad or if something happens to one of them, you have a backup. Out of all of the juicers that I have received, I have not seen that before, so that's a huge plus for me. So I'm just gonna take this apart so we can kind of see what it looks like. This does have the pulp container right here. I really like that it has some curvature on the side, so it does catch all the pulp and it's not spraying everywhere. You can see there's kind of a high end right here as well. And then the container that catches all of the juice, it does have measurements on the side, which is nice, but it also has a handle. A lot of them don't come with handles, so that's nice. And it does also have a pour spout, so you can pour it directly into the cup that you're drinking out of. And then I'm just going to take this apart so you can see all of the units. We have the damper right here, and then the housing for the damper right up on top of that. You can see about how large the hole is. That's about how big the fruits and vegetables that you're going to be juicing have to be. So that's something to keep in mind with these juicers. I feel like this is going to fit generally what we're going to use for it. This also does have a wrench. I don't have it right in front of me that does help you remove this piece right here. But I've never had to use it. It's never hard enough that you need to use the little wrench that comes with it. So that's also nice. And here is the second filter. So, and this is the piece that is actually going to grind up your fruits and vegetables. You can see it has a lot of different segments in here, which is really great. It means it's going to do a better job. Basically, the more segments that this has, the more that it's going to utilize the fruits and vegetables that you use and get the most juice extracted out of them. So that's a huge plus. And then we also have a safety feature right here. You have to push this little button in order to release it. Otherwise, this is not going to come out. So that's nice, especially when you're juicing hard fruits and vegetables like carrots. If it is working your machine really hard, it's not going to wiggle this out of place and disrupt the process. So that's really nice that it does lock into place. Okay, so there you have it. Here is the base. It is the basic black color, which is really nice. And then we have the buttons right here. We have the power button and a reverse button. The reverse really comes in handy. If you get something that's kind of stuck in the process, you can just push reverse and then it'll usually just dislodge it, but I've not had that problem with this juicer. So I'm gonna go ahead and reassemble this, and then we're going to go ahead and test out its juicing capabilities. So this is locked into place. Okay, so we're all ready to go. I'm gonna show you the different fruits and vegetables that I'm gonna be trying out today. We always use celery here. That's kind of a staple for our juice here. That's something that we do every day, so I definitely wanna use celery on this. If there's anything in our home that's going to give a juicer a hard time, it's going to be carrots. So I have these carrots here, and I just cut everything to fit inside the juicer. I just wanna make sure that it fits in this slot on the top here. So I cut everything kind of to size, which it's really not that small of a hole. I didn't have to cut most things down. I did have to cut a couple of carrots just because they were humongous carrots. I am going to juice lemons because I feel like that is another thing that kind of can give problems with some juicers. I do want to keep the rind in there just because there's so many health benefits and vitamins and minerals in there that I definitely want to utilize. I cut up some apples so that they would fit in that slot as well. And then I did want to try leafy greens. I have spinach here. Some juicers can experience problems with some leafy greens, and that's always a question that I get on my juicer review videos, is if it works well with leafy greens. So I just wanted to try a little bit of everything. So let's go ahead and get started. I think I'm gonna start out with the carrots because they're probably the hardest thing to juice, and then we'll just kind of go from there. So I just wanted to show you, I'm gonna plug it in first, but this cord is about, I would say about 3 feet long, so that's really nice. It doesn't have to be super close to the outlet. So I'm gonna plug this in, and first of all, let's talk about the noise level. So compared to other juicers, this is definitely not loud, which is a huge plus for me. Okay, well, let's go ahead and get started. So I'm gonna start with this carrot. Nice. Okay, so it did not have any trouble with that carrot, so I'm gonna feed it a few more. And now I'm going to try out a little celery. Okay, wow, it took that celery really easily. So I'm gonna do a couple more. Now I'm gonna go ahead and do some of these different things. I'm gonna do the lemons and the apples. Okay, the apples were no problem at all. And now I'm gonna go ahead and do the lemon. I do want to note that all of the pulp is going really nicely into this cup. It's not getting anywhere else over here. I'm not getting a lot of splashage, which is really nice. Okay, the last thing to try is going to be these greens. I'm going to just put them in here. This is probably the hardest thing for cold press juicers. So I'm just going to feed this in here. A trick I like to use is I like to push greens down with celery. That way it can go all the way down and it doesn't matter if the celery gets juiced in there as well. Nice. Okay, that handled it really nicely. You can see there's nothing stuck in this in-between area. So there's a few things that I like to judge a juicer by, and that is the feel of the pulp, so how wet or dry it is, and then if there is pulp remaining in the juice and how much juice it makes. Okay, so I'm gonna start out by pointing at some of these. I'm just going to dump it out so we can kind of see how wet or dry this pulp is. If pulp is wet afterwards, which in centrifugal juicers, they're usually a lot more wet, which is a huge plus of cold press juicers, because it means that it's extracting more of that juice out, which is exactly what you want when you're paying for high quality fruits and vegetables to juice. So you can see this carrot, there is not a lot of liquid in there. You can see it's not even making my hands wet, which is so awesome. And then we have this celery here. There is some fibers in here, which is totally fine. I feel like if I were to squeeze this, I might get a little bit of liquid out. Okay, you can see there's a few drops like dripping out of here, just for reference. But overall, I'm so happy with this. I feel like I'm pretty happy with the amount of juice here. I'm gonna pour it in my glass so that I can taste it and see if there's any pulp left in here. All right, so as far as floating pulp, I don't see a lot of floating pulp, and I don't see a lot of foam on top, which is a huge plus for me. I feel like that's definitely a personal preference though. Oh, wow. Okay, I'm actually very surprised by the lack of pulp in here for the price point of this juicer. I'm very happy with this. It's very, very smooth. Okay, I can definitely taste all of the different fruits and vegetables that I put in here. This is exactly what I wanted. I love the lack of pulp here. Huge plus for me. I'm gonna go ahead and put a link in the description down below if you wanna go check this juicer out yourself. If you found this review useful, please give this video a thumbs up and follow me for more. Thanks for watching. Bye.